there against the industrial park.
Don't complain about cold. I've been enjoying the shit out of this.
Right, closest one is, maybe 7 to 8. Or if they're doing the sidewalk island. But I wouldn't answer. Hard to see on who they're registered. If I said, I wouldn't have set a plan.
Charlotte's at home anyway.
Thank you.
Everybody sign in? There's a little attorney in there last night, says she represents Dale Mayor.
Yeah, that's what I heard. She called Grandpa this morning.
Any word on pothole information yet?
Well, she calls Grandma every morning.
No, but I did.
They're pretty tight. They practically raised her.
Randy had said that he thinks that's a main, not a service line. He's pretty sure, because I called him to see if they could do something for us.
You told her she looks like Rob.
certified.
Well, that's what I said. She's gonna take that.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. He's a pretty
I don't think it's certified.
he's a pretty
I think
guy. That's what.
there.
Oh, we loved it.
Another problem.
So do I not call you
She
back?
does look like Rob.
Yeah.
Hasn't called me back yet,
Yeah.
so,
But her mom
but when I called, they said it was service line. But Randy worries me because he probably knows
Mailman.
more about it than anybody else. But he said they didn't want to go around the corner, so they ran it up through there. Which means it may be out of our way once it gets up going towards the top, but I don't know.
Thank you, sir. Okay, it is 1:30. We're going to open the mandatory pre-bid meeting for the 44 Daddy Road stormwater improvement. I think we all know each other. I'm Mike Clark, Director of Engineering for the city. To my right is Mario Todd. He's the city's construction manager. And to the far right is Mike Hall. He is our design professional for this project. We will also have Cardinal ATC for the geotech that the city will provide. It's just going to be the contractor's responsibility to contact and schedule to make sure that all testing that's required does take place. This project will be bid a lump sum number, but we will require T&M unit costs attached to it. And that way, if there happens to be any changes, we'll already have that negotiated, so we'll just go through the formality with our Board of Works and get that approved.
Lock the door on me. Huh?
Here, sign this. There again, this is a prevailing wage job. The wage rates were included in your packet. Certified payroll may be requested. Everyone has to be pre-qualified. I believe everyone in the room is, so that won't be an issue on this project. The bid schedule for this project, the question deadline will be August 14th at 4 o'clock. The bids are due August 18th at 2 o'clock at the clerk treasurer's office. Not 4, so make sure you take note of that. 2 o'clock is when they're due, to give the clerk treasurer to have time to get them ready and bring them over for the meeting. The project will have its bid opening at the scheduled Board of Works meeting on Monday, August 18th at approximately 6 o'clock. and hopefully the bids will be awarded that night. Any questions about this project need to be done in writing via email to Mike Hall. Mike will answer all the questions. He'll put the questions and the answers together and send it out to each contractor, so we have an even playing field. I know this is in your packet, but make sure that you include with your bid of course, your bid amount, the Form 96 with financial statements, the project schedule, the conflict of interest / nepotism affidavit, the E-Verify form, a bid bond, and the city bid form, which is included in the packet. All billing on this, there will be 10% retainage. After the initial billing, lien waivers will be required with each pay request. 90% billable of the contract amount when the project is substantially complete. You get a bill for your retainage when the project is released. That will be determined by myself, Mr. Todd, and Mr. Hall. And then once the project is released, that's when the 1-year warranty period starts. At this time, I would like to turn the meeting over to our construction manager, Mr. Todd.
Thanks, Mike. I think everybody knows my routine. Your construction dailies have to be turned in, and we're going to be turning them in every week. Some of the contractors seem to have a problem getting them in for the job, period, let alone once a week. So we'll look for the dailies to be turned in either through Mike or directly to my office. As Mike said, we're going to take care of the soils inspections, the materials testing through Cardno. Cardno's had a turnover in personnel, so if you've got some of the old field personnel's phone numbers, they're probably not any good. So if you need to get a hold of them, call my office and we'll line them up for you. And that's about all I have. Oh, and there will not be any change orders on this job. So if you see something out there that you need to ask Mike questions about on the front end, you better get them into him. Yes?
Probably putting that time and material if there's not going to be a change order. I mean, that
Anything outside the scope that's not in here, we're not going to allow it.
We're requiring that just in case.
Unless you decide to change the scope of the work, right?
Correct. So in other words, if you're going to store an extra 2 ton of stone up there and think you're going to lose it, then charge us for it, and that's not going to happen. Not because of us, but I think everybody knows that the powers that be, there's no change orders to be on jobs without shutting the job down and coming back to them first, them being the council.
Okay, is that all?
That's all I have.
Okay, now we'll turn it over to our design professional and we'll let him go through, which I think he's already handed out addendum number 1.
Yes.
And I will let you know, this meeting is being recorded. We'll have minutes taken from it. So we know at a minimum, there's going to be addendum number 2. And I think Mike will get into this, but there's a gas main issue that we're waiting on some information that'll probably be a 3rd addendum. But Mike, if you would.
Yes, sir. I'll start with the gas main at the bottom where the head wall is at Dowdy Road. We have a gas main. We don't know how deep it is, and we have what I was told is a lateral line for a residence. Since this morning, I found that it could possibly be a main, not from the gas company, but from Aurora Utilities, which I don't know yet. I'm going to phone call into Sycamore Gas to see if they can answer that question. Other than dealing with the gas, as soon as I know something about that, then that addendum will go out prior to bid, is what we're hoping for. So if not, put a contingency in there about lowering the gas main. However, I don't think anybody, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is able to move the gas line because you have to be certified through the gas company to even do this. So,
And I think maybe you should ask that question, that way it'd be fair for, is anybody here certified with Sycamore Gas and doing the gas operations themselves?
okay. All right. That's our only outstanding subject. The two addendums were to add dimensions to the drawings at the head wall and at the trash rack. Because I'd had some questions and they were missing, so they are now on there so that you can get dimensions and sizes for the grading and also for the size of the head wall. The only area that is of contention would be the grouted riprap, which is just up at the top next to the, within the right-of-way. That's being grouted just because that's where the outlet storm is off of the top of Bilby Road. So we want that to be more secure, and it's a change of direction in the water flow. So that's being built up on the side and then grouted so that it doesn't move and gets it over where we need it to be. The trees will be your responsibility to take out. This is a minor cut through, so we don't want anything, in other words, you're not going to clear a 30-foot strip. You're going to clear exactly what you need to get up through there to minimize the amount of destruction that we have going up through there. So you will have up and down, track out, as far as getting the material out. I don't care if you take it to the north and get it out at Bilby Road, but that's probably less likely rather than taking it out at Dowdy, because you can get off the road into the driveways there on Dowdy to take material out. We will not be able to get on the adjoiner, Mr. and Mrs. Meyer, so I'll set that up through there so that you know where the property line is, so that you're not on those folks, because they don't want anything destructive. There is a fence line up through there, but the fence line's not totally on the line. It's on our side of the line, so we'll mark that so that you guys know where the boundary line up through there is, and that we don't take out any of their existing trees or anything like that. There's rock check dams in this. They're noted on there on where they're at, detail for that. The stone that I expect is the minimum size in that, so if it's 4 to 6 inch stone, that's all right, and if it's 6 to 8 inch stone, that's all right. That's just the minimum that I want in those areas. Other than that, I think that's all.
Okay, and I've got just a couple quick comments. For the tree disposal, the city will accept the material from that, so you don't have to pay someplace to dispose of it. If you want to grind it up on site and bring the grindings over, that's fine. If you want to load the trees up, that's fine too. Has to be 8 foot or less in length each piece. We will accept root balls, but only if every speck of dirt and rock is removed from them. So that's something that'll be available to everyone. And just remember too, guys, especially on the upper end on Bilby Road, Road 48, you guys are responsible for traffic control. And I think you've all worked in that area at one time or another. You have to do it right just for preservation. So make sure you have that included in your bids.
What about the excess material from the ditch line excavation? Will you take that?
No.
Concrete be tested?
Yes.
And we're just responsible to contact?
Yeah, advance notice, and even on the concrete, of course, there'll be some footing inspections or subsoil inspections before replacement of concrete.
Well, we gotta give them like a day's lead time?
At least a day, yeah. But, you know, if weather's coming in and you want to try to get a pour in, I mean, I think we'll be flexible to help get somebody over there. Because a day may make a difference of a week over there on this one if you get washed out.
Absolutely.
This gas line relocation, I mean, takes 6 months or something. What are you gonna do about that?
Drop back and punt, just pull the project.
What's the longest that they have to move it, so that they know how long they're gonna be hanging out?
We'll probably give them 30 days, then we'll come back and relook at it.
No, the one thing is, it's gonna be as soon as possible.
Yeah. We don't want this thing to go in the winter to make a mess.
Yeah, it's a 14 project. You know, we really don't want it to go into next year. But no, there's no penalties, late penalties or anything included in the contract for this, so. But nevertheless, we will take into account the schedule that you turn in with your bid, and we will hold you to it.
What are we gonna do if they don't make it?
Well, the biggest thing is gonna be start. And if they don't start in time, then we can, at that point, we can pull it before it happens.
I'm just wanting them to know what the.
I mean, worst case scenario, what could happen? If they come in, started it and pulled off, didn't come back, we'd probably, contact their bond company.
As long as everybody's clear with that starting off.
But the start will be dictated by the gas company. 'Cause I can't find anybody to move it for them. So,
Okay, do we have any other questions? I mean, it's really not that complicated of a project. We need to find out depth and what size that gas line is, and we've been at their mercy for over a month trying to get them up here to do that. There's no further questions.
there is 300 feet of tracking. I mean, you're gonna go up and down a quarter. You're not gonna be able to pull out and run down the grass in the guy's yard, so you're going up and down. You have to take
Staging
that into
area,
account.
the staging area, what we talked about that day, is that a possibility? We need to contact the property owner ourselves?
That'll be between the contractor and the property owner.
But I have got a call in to Jeff Fox, because he's got the least likely to be damaged area on his side, and I haven't heard back from him yet.
Did we give an alternative over there at the industrial park for any staging?
That can be accommodated. Okay, guys,
All I got.
there's no further questions, good luck. I think this will be a pretty good project. And we'll close this mandatory pre-bid meeting, and just remember your question deadlines. Make sure you get them in writing, emailed to my call.
And that was the 14th of August, right? At 4
Correct.
o'clock?
The deadline for questions is 14th at 4 o'clock.
Yes, that's yours.
Good luck, guys.
And gals?